To my channel. So guys, in the last video that I would have posted, I talked about how to prepare for the nursing school interview, and in this video, as you'll get by the title, we are going to discuss how to answer the nursing school interview questions. So if you all are interested in seeing how to do that, keep watching the video, right guys? And always don't forget to subscribe down below. If you are new here, my name is Tia, and on this channel we talk about nursing, lifestyle, self-care, and all of the above. So now let's just jump right into the video. So as a lot of you all know, that the nursing school interview is the determining factor in what is going to allow you to get into the nursing school program. So in today's video, we are going to cover the questions that they will ask and how you answer these questions. So question number 1 is, why did you choose nursing as your career? And this question is a question that you will definitely see. Now guys, for this question, when you're answering this, basically think back as to what motivated you to become a nurse. Now a lot of us would have had deep-rooted reasons as to why we chose this career. You want to go back to those things. Don't be afraid to share it with them and tell them exactly what motivated you, who motivated you, or why you decided to join into the nursing school program. So when you're answering this question, always think along that line, right? And I know that a lot of us would have different reasons as to why we joined, but again, don't be afraid to share your personal experiences and your reasons as to why you decided to choose nursing as your career choice. For question number 2, they're gonna ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And this is a question you're definitely gonna see, and they're asking you this because they want to know if you are certain or if you have plans, as to what you want to do when you finish nursing school, right? As we know, nursing has different areas that you could join into. Some of us may say that we are looking to be accident and emergency, or pediatric nurses, even oncology nurses, or any neurosection. They want to know that you have a plan put in place, and this will tell them that you are actually sure and that you are serious about the program, right? So if you all haven't started to think about what you're gonna do post graduation of nursing school, start to think about it now, because they will ask you, right? So question number 3 is a question that may seem strange, but they will ask is, what are your current goals, right? And obviously one of your current goals is to get into nursing school, right? This goes with the other question. They want to see how serious you are about joining the program. And when you're answering this question, you can say things like, you want to use nursing as a stepping stone to get on or to move on to some of the things that you have planned in the future. You want to use nursing as the basis of starting your career or your career path or whatever, because nursing is definitely something that you can use to elevate and expand into different areas if you choose to, right? It has a wide range of opportunities that could come after once you have done nursing. So when they ask you your current goals, you want to answer along that line. So for question number 4 is a question that might get some of us a little bit intimidated, and it is, what are some of the qualities that you possess that will help you in the field of nursing? And when you're going to answer this question, you want to think about some of the skills, mainly some of the skills of a nurse. And if you are not familiar with these things, I recommend that you go and search them up, but I will give you maybe 3 right now, right? So some of the skills that a nurse will possess, or some of the qualities that will help you in the nursing occupation, is definitely time management, because nurses have to work around a very tight schedule, and you have to be able to manage your time wisely if you want to become a nurse. Another thing is, your ability to critically think, because again, nursing is an occupation where things usually happen on spot, and you have to be able to utilize the information that you learn in school to apply it to various situations in order to rectify that situation. So being able to think on spot in order to solve problems and circumstances is definitely an asset when you are a nurse, as well as having the ability to communicate with different types of people, right? Good communication skills will also play an important role in nursing, as well as being able to handle very stressful situations, because nursing is a very stressful occupation and you have to be able to cope with stress if you want to become a nurse. When you are looking to answer this question in particular, always think about some of these skills that a nurse must possess. And if you are not sure about these things, do your research and get the information so that you will be easily able to answer this question. Next question, which is question number 5, and you will see this question a lot, is tell me about the first time that you wanted to become a nurse. And I'm not going to lie, when I answered this question, I became very emotional when I was answering it, because it was my motivation was definitely a personal situation that happened in my life, and it motivated me to want to become a nurse. When you're answering this question, you want to dig deep within yourself. You want to look at some of the things that motivated you to become a nurse, or some of the things that basically directed you down the path of becoming a nurse. And don't be afraid to share your personal experiences, because it will show them that you are genuinely serious about it, that you genuinely want to do nursing, that you have a real interest in the career. Always remember, when you are answering this question, dig deep within yourself and think about the reason why you decided to pursue nursing as your career. Some of these things might be, maybe taking care of a sick relative or ill relative, maybe somebody got damaged, maybe a lot of us would have answered that it was definitely our calling, and nursing is a calling. It definitely is. When you're answering this question, definitely think along those lines in order to answer this question efficiently. Okay guys, so question number 6, which is a question that you will definitely see or hear, is they're gonna ask you, among all the other students, what makes you so unique that we would want to accept you into our program, right? And I know a lot of us at this point might start to get nervous, because you're trying to think about ways to answer this question. And the first thing you might think about is start to talk about your academics. Don't do that. Do not do that. At this point, they don't want to know about your academics, because they read your application. What they want to know is what else you could bring to the table that's gonna put you like a step above other candidates. What you want to do is to discuss your strengths and your weaknesses, things like that. You want to talk about things that you probably would have done in your lifetime. Maybe some of you might have done volunteering work, some of you might have worked in Sunday school with Sunday school students, some of you might have participated in other things, like a little Christmas charity giveaway thing every year that you do. You want to talk about things like that, things that are not listed in your application, because they already know all the information in your application. Tell them things that they don't know about you, things that make you interesting, things that put you above the choice of other candidates. Remember, do not talk about academics, because they don't want to know that, right? So that is it for that question. So always think along that line when you're answering this type of question. Question number 7, which is a question that you will definitely see or hear, is how do you handle stressful situations? And this might be different for everyone, because I know a lot of us deal with stress differently. Some people act in the moment as stress happens, and others, they have to take a moment, but not too long. Take maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds before you are able to act. In stressful situations, your fight or flight system will definitely activate, but as a nurse, you will have to act in every situation. Don't get too scared, don't run away, don't try to palm it off to other people, don't do nothing for the patient. There are different things that you would see as a nurse that might be a little far-fetched, that might throw you off your game, but you always have to snap back somehow, and in order to get things done, because nursing and stress are 2 words that work hand in hand. So if you are not capable of dealing with stressful situations, try your best to learn how to do these things before you get into nursing, because you will encounter stress regularly. That is how you aim to answer that question. Think about ways in which you cope with stress. As I said, everybody's coping mechanisms will be different. Think of yourself and think of ways or things that you will do in stressful situations. So for question number 8, which is, and this is a question that you would hear, you definitely hear, what does the word nurse mean to you? And in order to answer this question, you really have to think about what are some of the roles of a nurse. You know, some of the things like where a nurse is a caregiver, an advocate, an educator, a teacher, you know, a support system, those kind of things. And if you are not familiar of the roles of a nurse, I do recommend that you go and search them up so that you will be readily able to answer this question to the best of your ability. So the next question, which is question number 9, which you will definitely hear, is to name one bad and one good quality about yourself. And I know for a lot of us, this question might throw us off our game. It might, you know, make us step back or get a little nervous to answer this question, because for some reason when people ask you to talk about yourself, you can't do that, you know. At least I know that's how I usually feel. Like, do I really know myself well enough to answer about myself? Basically, when you're talking about when you're gonna answer this question, try and do this beforehand to think about things, so even if you do end up, you know, getting a little nervous when they ask you this, you will be able to answer it efficiently. You know, you will be able to articulate yourself well enough, right? So you basically, to answer it, you want to sit down and really think about who you are as an individual. Think about some of the things you might need to change. Think about some of the things that you see as an asset within you, and use these things to answer this question. As for the last question, which is question number 10, which is a very hard one, well, at least it was, and you need to know a little bit about, you know, the healthcare sector and stuff to answer this question, right? So question number 10 is, what changes do you think need to occur in the healthcare sector in Trinidad and Tobago, and how do you think you can contribute to these changes? Now, this is something where you really need to dig deep. Based on everybody's perspectives, their answers would be very different, right? But how I remember answering this question is that I said while there are a lot of excellent nurses in Trinidad and Tobago, there are also some nurses that treat, you know, the patients as though they are nothing with it, or as though they are less than. And I believe that that is something we need to change. You know, the term hearing that a nurse is a pig, that needs to be eradicated, and I have always believed that. And that's something that I said needed to change in the healthcare sector. We needed to get, you know, more caring people in the nursing occupation, you know, not people who are just doing it for money, but doing it for the love of actually helping others. For the second part of the question, I know it was a mouthful, which is, how do you intend to help to change this? I said that because I genuinely believe that I have always enjoyed helping people, and that it brings me fulfillment to know that I did something to help somebody or to make them feel a little bit better. You know, sometimes the thing that would improve someone's day is just you saying good morning, you know, things like that, you know. And I believe that we needed more nurses like that, and I said that I can contribute to it because I feel as though that I would genuinely care for people, because it brings me joy and fulfillment to know that I really help someone. So that is how I answer that question. And as I said, based on your perspective of everything, and your values and your ethics and so on, your answer may be different. But this is a question where you really need to sit and dig deep within yourself. Write down this question beforehand so that you can answer this question efficiently. Okay, y'all, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope these tips that I shared with you guys can help you all as you're going to doing your nursing school interview. And again, I want to say congratulations to all of you who are on your way to doing the interview, and I know you all will do so great. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.